Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am coming to you live on this podcast from our condo in Edmonton, and
On the wall of cash.
I with my wall of cash behind me, and I thought, oh, what am I going to drink today? And then I went into the fridge, and it's training camp, and so all I got is bubbly water or non-alcoholic Corona. So bubbly it is, raspberry.
Buble.
in training in training camp, we drink water and non-alcoholic stuff.
Okay.
So
Well,
I know.
I was so it's been a busy day, just go, 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 go. So I get home and I'm like, oh, there was something I was going to drink today. There was something, and I'm looking and I'm thinking and nothing's registering. So I just pulled out the dark cherry vanilla whiskey scatterbrain, poured some of
I love
that.
that. I love that bottle.
I know.
Cute.
And it's delicious. But as soon as I sat down to talk to you, I went, shit, I remember what I was going to drink. And it was in a can, Sandra. And I was so excited. So I'll save it for next week.
I love the cans.
And I'm not going to tell you what it was. It's going to be a surprise. But got my happiest hour.
Nice. Nice.
And we've been chatting for a minute. So it's nice and melty.
Oh, and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Did you have a good week? I've had a wild week.
Yeah, I've had a great week. I mean, I was kind of an asshole the other night, but
these are my best stories. I feel like a lot of times on the podcast, I'm the asshole. But I love when it's not me. I love when it's not me.
I'll be the asshole today.
Okay.
It was totally out of the vortex moment. It was interesting because when I was feeling the emotion of it, I'm talking to myself going, do you really want to feel like this right now? You're missing this moment. Is this really how you want to show up? And I was just like, shut up. But what was going on is I was making Chex Mix for a potluck at work. And Easton is in here with me, and Lily had gone out to sit on the patio with Paul. And I'm in here trying to make the Chex Mix, and I'm dropping shit, and then I knock her glass over, and I'm like, nah. And Easton is jumping on the couches and doing anything he can to get some attention. Right. He's like, pay attention to me. And I'm going, his mother needs to be in here parenting him. I don't want to be naggy Geely.
Right.
Just nag, 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 get off the couch. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't, so I was frustrated because I do have a story that I tell because he lives with us. They live with us. And I feel like I'm being cheated. Nice victim story, I know. But, but I feel like I am missing the grandparent experience with him because I do also have to parent. I can't say, ooh, let's stay up late. Ooh, let's make some cookies. Sometimes, yes, but a lot of times I have to say, nope, time for bed, let's go. And so I feel like the relationship is different than what I have with Maria because it's kind of a party. I mean, there's a limit to the party, but so I've had this feel sorry for myself. Oh, you're missing out, blah, 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 bullshit. Anyway, so Lily comes in and then she goes back outside and Dad goes, or Paul says, what's wrong with Mom? Oh, she's mad because she hit my glass and it spilled all over the floor. And he said, she's not mad about the glass. And Lily didn't ask, but he came in here and he's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm frustrated. And he goes, yeah, I know.
I heard.
And then he gave me this perspective of, honey, she's been alone for 6 days. She has had no friends over because Easton was sick. We weren't here. The only break she got was when she went to work. And other than that, it's been Easton nonstop. She just
Mm.
wanted to come sit outside and have a grown up conversation and escape it all for a minute. Of course, then I feel like a piece of shit. But it's so interesting that we get caught up in our emotions and our stories
Yeah.
instead of really looking big picture of what's going on. Was
Mhm.
I in some huge hurry to have to make this Chex Mix? No. Could I have
Mhm.
maybe put the brakes on that and come and sat in here with him, knowing he's screaming for attention? That's why he's acting foolish.
Yeah.
But I didn't stop and think about all that. I was too concentrated on my delicate feelings and
Yeah.
what I wanted. I was being 2-year-old Leigh in that moment. We've talked about 2-year-old Leigh before,
We have.
but I think the coolest thing was that she didn't react to me being frustrated. She
Yeah.
felt bad, like, sorry, mom, but
Yeah.
she knew she had done nothing wrong. Paul knew she had done nothing wrong, but he also knew why I was frustrated and understood that,
Mhm.
but wanted to share information that could make me look at it from a different perspective. And had she reacted in like defensiveness and targeted back at me, and then we would have had a little war and it would have been a shitty ass night. But
Yeah.
instead, she had the wherewithal about her to be like, yeah, this is not my stuff. This has nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
I'm going to walk away. And how many times do we pick up the energy of other people when they're spewing shit at us and
Yeah.
spew it right back? And then nothing gets resolved.
Well, imagine if you had, kind of snapped at her and she snapped back. Like, just
Right.
imagine how that would go. It would
Right.
escalate
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I remember when my son and I are very similar, extremely competitive, driven, committed, we want to win, we want like
Uh-huh.
and, particularly when he was younger and I was busy. I had a busy job and he would have a rough day. He would dig his heels in and I felt this like, oh, it felt to me almost like a step ladder of like he was at this level of aggression or like anger, frustration.
Yeah.
And then I would go to meet him and match it and go,
Uh-huh.
and then he would rise up and I would rise up. And like towards the end, there is no emotional intelligence in sight.
Yeah.
None. And I remember the best advice that I had was when he is having his 8-year-old moment. I mean, he was 8, he was 9, he was, 18.
Yeah.
But when he's having his moment, don't like dig into that energy because
Mhm.
he reads yours, you read his.
Yeah.
You're headed for a cyclone of awful.
Uh-huh.
And so I really started thinking in terms of like when he's freaking the hell out or when I am, the only thing I'm going to do is retreat.
Mhm.
I need to walk away until I can center myself, become emotionally intelligent again, and then go back. And it doesn't take a long period of time. I just need that moment of clarity
Yeah.
to go like just a 4-step walk almost of going, get your shit together, Priestley.
Mhm. Yeah.
This isn't yours. He's having a rough day.
Has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And my mom also, I give this advice a lot. I think my mom, like, the best part of my dad's drinking was the lessons, the life lessons, the way that I think differently, and the things that I learned from my mom, because I didn't go to Al-Anon, but she did. I went to treatment centers and stuff with him, but I think she said one time, the whole when they're freaking out, your job is to stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as you're reading their energy, they're reading yours.
Yeah.
And if you are not calm, that means they don't have the right to be. And then they read that as massive fear. My mom is fearful. I need to be way more fearful. My mom is angry. There's, oh no, what do I need to be scared of? And it never really allows them to feel the feeling and process it, because you're amplifying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I often give this advice to my clients who are struggling with their adult children, especially, but like this idea of like not projecting what you think they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And
what you think they say means.
right. Like, let's just not guess.
Yeah.
Let's know.
Yeah. Let's ask.
And I had this situation actually just yesterday or today. It was this morning, where I had been talking to a person, and at the time that I was talking to her, she had texted a client of mine. And the client then phoned me and said, "Oh my gosh, this person is panicking. She's scared. She's this, she's that." I'm like, "Whoa, hang on." I was with her. She was calm and massively powerful. And then she realized that she had read it with a totally different lens than was the truth. And her version of what that text message said and my version of being in the vehicle were completely opposite. The stories were completely opposite. The stories were like,
yeah.
And
but
so
it was her perception of
yeah,
what was going on and what she was assuming she must be feeling.
yes,
So the
exactly.
sky is falling. We make up stories like that all the time.
We do. And I mean, how awesome that Lily, I mean, she made up a story that you're a little bit nuts because you dropped a glass and you're mad. But
well, and I don't even know that she did that, because there was zero emotion from her. It wasn't a, "Oh, you're fucking crazy," or a, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." It was, I mean, she was like, "Sorry about that. You're the one that dropped it, you crazy lady." She did not say that. But
no,
she was so calm and so separated, like, that's not mine. It's almost like she recognized that what I was experiencing in that moment really had nothing to do with her, which made my heart sing a little bit.
right? It's like, oh my gosh.
Like
Oh,
she's
incredible.
getting it. She's understanding
At
that.
her age, I didn't. Did you?
No.
Right.
24. No.
We were
Did not.
oblivious.
Yeah. Everything was about us.
Yeah.
A glance could mean a million things.
And we made
And
it meet
sometimes they
it
weren't.
all.
Huh?
And we made it meet it all. I mean, we every glance, I think I told this story before, but like one time I was looking at Cam and he gave me this look. I was speaking to him and he gave me this look. And I was 1,000 degrees of angry at him. I knew what that look meant. And he was blinking at me like, "What the fuck is your problem? What are you talking about right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was watching TV." Like it had nothing to do with anything I said. He wasn't even paying attention to me. But I made up a story, like,
Oh, yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And I still do this. I try not to though. It's like, but
We
when
catch ourselves earlier, I
we
think.
catch ourselves, I catch myself really quick now,
Uh-huh.
and go, oh,
Mhm.
okay, wait a minute.
Is that truth?
What is
Yeah.
actually fact and what is my assumption here?
Yes. And what's
And
interesting is that if we would just open our mouths and ask for clarification, what do you
yes,
mean by that? Then you can have a conversation. And 99% of the time, when you do that, you realize you were just making shit up,
yeah,
totally making shit up. And we're
yeah,
suffering because of it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And how much, what would life be like if we all had this, if everyone listened to this podcast, and everyone, and we could all like work to pay attention to our energy,
Mhm.
pay attention to what our energy is saying to other people, realize that their stuff, their emotions have nothing to do with us,
Mhm.
and really pay attention to our like how we're interpreting the world.
Yeah.
Like, and if we didn't take anything personally, what would the world look like?
Mhm.
I mean,
The 4
completely.
agreements. Everyone should read the 4
The
agreements.
4 agreements. I know. Can you remember them?
Be impeccable with your word.
That's my
Always do
favorite.
your best,
Yeah.
which means your best from day to day. It's not a
Yes.
it's not a line. It's some days you feel better, some days you feel worse, some days you're tired, some days you have energy. You do the best that you can do every single day, wherever you are on that scale.
Yes.
Don't take things personal.
Yeah. And what's the fourth one?
Oh my gosh.
Is it don't make assumptions?
Don't make assumptions. That's it.
Look at how badass we are today.
Mhm. But
But I
that
mean,
book
it's an
is
amazing
so
small little book.
simple and it's
Yes.
an easy read. You can read it and it doesn't take long.
It
But
doesn't even take long for me.
yeah, I mean,
No,
it's a little book. I've got it over there. I just want to reach over there. It's just
I
a
know.
little book. And the print's not tiny, but
No,
oh, the feeling,
I know.
you
It's one
know?
of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. And I just remember just, it was, I don't know, it's so simple, but so life altering.
Yeah.
Like, I just love this concept of we just make agreements based on situations we've experienced, things that our family members have said, and we have our own book of law, and everyone
Yeah.
else has their book of law.
Yeah.
And they may not look the same, but our books of law are true to us
Hmm.
until
But
all of a sudden
sometimes
we
they're
decide,
bullshit.
and then we decide to shift it when
Yeah.
we, right? We
Just
get,
like Lily carrying around the fact that she needed to worry about what other people would think about her for almost
right.
25 years
Yeah,
or almost 24 years.
yeah,
Um, Gosh, is she almost 25? Almost 25 years. Good grief. But it's that same thing. That was an agreement
yeah,
that she made with me that,
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna carry this bullshit that you carry around every day just because you do it.
yeah.
It's normal.
When I was little, like I was in elementary school, some little fuck ass had said that my ears stuck out. And I'm like, I cut off my hair. I had like this awful haircut, but like I didn't want to have my hair long, so I needed to cover up my ears. And I believed my ears stuck out of my head for years. Like, I mean, in grade 10, I'm like, I think I need an ear tuck. How do I get one of those things? They do not stick out
Mm-mm.
at all. But I believed it. It was in my book of law. This little asshole said my ears stuck out, and I went, they do. He's right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
now what? Can I chop them off? And I held that for however long, like most of my life. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I said something, it came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's not like I was walking around wearing earmuffs all day long, but like I, it came out of my mouth because it was in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I had to look in the mirror. I had to look in the mirror and go, wait a minute. Did
Mm-hmm.
they?
Mm-hmm.
Did they? Or was he just wrong? Like, I mean, maybe they did, but my head shifted. I don't know. But at the same time, I carried it and never questioned myself
Right.
until all of a sudden I heard it come out of my mouth and go, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's holding me back.
Yeah. A comment. How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I was maybe 7.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
So
years.
this 7-year-old boy probably, most likely, has zero recollection of saying that. He was just a little asshole. And
Yes.
he might have even been flirting with you because, they do that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's that's how they learn to start flirting. They just pick on you.
Yeah.
But you when you think about it, we take those statements from childhood
Right.
and we carry that and go, okay, this is true about me. And so when you have people telling you, you were this or you were that,
Mhm.
um, then you believe them. And the worst thing you can do is tell them how bad their parent is and then have them tell you, oh my God, you're just like that parent.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden you are bad too. And then
Yeah.
you carry it with you like it's real
It's so,
until you wake up and go, what the fuck?
yeah, I know.
Mhm.
It's so interesting though, like when you were saying he probably doesn't remember what he said. And that is so true because
Yeah.
we remember things that affect us.
Yes.
And he is going on his life path.
Mhm.
Donald, he has no idea that I remembered that stupid statement for
He
this
probably
many.
doesn't remember saying it.
He doesn't remember saying it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even probably remember my name. So why am I worried about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we do this. And even I noticed with showing up online or with our thoughts about money or our thoughts about what we are worth, our thoughts about so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's stemming from some stupid story someone said that doesn't even remember
Mm-mm.
and
Someone had a
goes,
bad day.
you were 3. I I don't recall,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
had
where our power
that's where
is
our
in
power is.
recognizing that.
And every single time I recognize one in myself,
Mhm.
it feels like, I don't know, another little twinkle light goes off for me,
Yes.
doesn't it? It's like, oh, one more little bit of brilliance
Yes.
because that one thing that was holding you back in that tiny little way is now gone,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Done.
know?
I don't have to carry that shit anymore.
The more we uncover, the more amazing our lives
Yeah.
become.
And
The more
to watch my daughter learn this and see her transform in front of my eyes is the
so wild,
coolest
right?
shit ever
Yes. Yes.
because she's not 50 or 51.
Right.
She's getting it now. And
And
it's gonna
avoiding
change the
taking on.
trajectory. Huh?
Yeah, like because she can recognize it and let stuff go now.
Yeah.
She's also in a space, in an emotionally intelligent space where she can realize that she's not going to take more on.
Yeah. That's not my
I mean,
shit.
we were
Mm-mm.
we were like walking around pretty blind
Oh, yeah.
for a lot of years. I
Just
mean, I
with our
watched
hands
over.
out, going, give me all your shit. I'll carry it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now it's like, I don't know, like this amazing awakening
Yeah.
for well, I don't know, my kids anyway, your kids,
Mm.
like it's a whole new path. Anyone that's listening to this
Yeah.
podcast, but it is so cool to see them have the awareness that they have now
Hmm.
that there was just not in the world. I believe it just wasn't in the world, you know?
We have awakened.
It wasn't for me anyway.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't for me either. It was,
Mhm.
and I look back in the books that I'm reading now, some of them were written in the 20s. The information was out there.
Yes, you told me this too. We had
Yeah.
this discussion before,
And
and
I'm
you're
like,
right.
why didn't my grandma find that? Maybe I wouldn't be here if she did. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I know she would have wanted me to.
I don't know that I could have connected to it though, because I'm telling you, I read The Power of Now because Oprah said to. Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Uh-huh.
And it was her life-changing book. And it was on Oprah's book club. And so I bought it. And I tried to force, keeping in mind, I don't love books, but
Right.
I tried to force myself to read this book. I tried so hard and I thought, what the heck? Oprah is like so much farther advanced than me because I do not understand what this dude is saying at all. And then I went through a tough period of time personally. And I read the book again. Something called me to read that book again. And I read it and I hung on every single word like it was my own personal therapist.
Yes. Yep.
And I said, why can I get this now? And I couldn't get this when I picked this book up 3 years ago. I didn't connect it and it wasn't my time.
But you weren't in the vortex to
It
receive it.
wasn't. No.
You were on a completely different wavelength. And so it was Greek to you. And it's
Yeah.
so interesting because I had someone that I ran into this past weekend, and we were talking about what I'm doing, and they were asking some questions. And so I'm all excited and I start talking. And the look on their face was like, what the fuck are you saying? And I could tell by their body language that they were not understand. And I was like, oh, I'm in a different spot. Not
Yeah.
better or worse, just we're
Yeah.
in two different lanes. And
Yeah.
when I'm talking like this,
They're not grasping.
it's not computing. Their brain's going irrelevant, irrelevant, irrelevant
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
irrelevant to them.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because I was able to just change the subject, start talking about something different, and I didn't feel bad and I didn't judge it. I didn't judge
Mhm.
myself. I didn't judge them. It was like, oh, we're just in two different places. They can't hear me. And
Yeah.
it felt so good.
I read a quote the other day. I don't recall what it is, and it was really good. So I'm going to kill it now. But it was something like, um, when we're on one level of consciousness and other people are on a different level, it is not our job to step down so that they can hear you.
Mhm.
And it's not our job to try to bring them up to
No,
where we are.
no,
Okay, that was a killer quote, and that was online.
you
But
did it.
I did
But
it, but that's not what the quote was, but
that's
mind
what
you,
it meant.
that is what it meant to me anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is so good
We have to
because
stop explaining ourselves and justifying ourselves.
and trying to meet everyone, like trying to make us mash up with the other
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we don't have to talk about things that are not on the same level and not better or worse. I mean, I
right.
like to challenge myself, but sometimes people are talking about stuff that I am like not there with them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not going to make myself wrong for not being there either,
Mm-mm.
you know?
No, we are where we are.
And
But on that note, we're out of time.
we are out of time
This was
and
good.
I am almost out of power on my computer. So this is
See,
perfect. I know.
always in the right place at the right
Right now.
time. Thank you, Sandra. This has been amazing. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.